Back in the 1990s, yeah, I know it's a long time ago. Back in the 1990s, I had the opportunity to work with a good friend of mine from Singapore, a guy by the name of Ron Sim, who's a businessman and entrepreneur that's been very successful throughout Southeast Asia and Asia. In fact, has one of the number one brands in a lot of the categories. And what I helped him with was to develop a market here in the United States. He wanted to have his stores in the United States. So he came and he hired me to work with him. Um, we set up the corporation, we set up the banking, and we negotiated space and the build out on the space in different retail spaces. We traveled with him across the West Coast looking for the best markets. It was a great experience. It was a little bit outside of my realm because I wasn't typically tied into retail, more into manufacturing and food and processing and world global trade. But it was a great opportunity. But part of my training was I flew to Singapore for a week, and during that week I worked in one of the malls there. I believe it was Millennium Mall, which is one of the high-end malls in Singapore. They had the center of the center of the store was they had displays at the center. They had displays at the center of the store that were selling their chairs, and it was interesting because there was a young man from Singapore who Ron had brought in and had him running the U.S. operation. So I technically reported to him, though I was far his senior as far as age goes. So there was a bit of a competition there, and the competition really flared up when it came to how do we sell chairs in Singapore. And so in the middle of the mall, during the sale, he and I both spent our time trying to sell chairs. And these chairs were, massage chairs. They were $1,500 to $3,000 a chair, so it's not something you buy lightly. And we had to demonstrate the chairs and talk to the people and eliminate their issues that they felt that they had to. So we had to eliminate the barriers that kept them from buying and make them feel comfortable buying something at that expensive on the whim to a great extent, buying something on a whim to a great extent. They hadn't planned on buying it when they came to the mall. Just a lot of cases they sat down because they were tired and got the massage and said, "Hey, this is great," and we had to sell them. Luckily, at the end of the day, at the end of the week, my friend who was brought over here, my competitor, was brought over here to the U.S. to open their stores. He and I both sold 2 chairs. So he had an advantage because he knew the local culture and customs a little bit better. They all speak English, but he spoke their dialect of English. I was still a Northwest native, so I spoke Northwest English. And it's interesting. Although we both speak English, there's multiple versions of English across the world. I'll talk about that in another section. But the challenge was to understand their market. So how did I understand their market? So we have an exercise here where I want you to consider you're selling a chair. You're selling a massage chair. And you've got 3 different markets. You've got Singapore. You have, you have Singapore. You have Beverly Hills. And you have Des Moines, Iowa. So how would you address things differently? What factors are involved there that would have it be in a different scenario? And what factors are involved there that have as a different scenario that would have you changing the efforts and changing your pitch depending on where